water, earth, fire, air. Hello ladies, gents, in betweens and out of the boxes. Thank you for clicking, thank you for listening. If you can just take a moment to hit that like button. If you watch the video and it turns out that you really like it, make sure to subscribe so that way you see more content like this. I want you to be commenting throughout the video because I want to know how you feeling, what you thinking, how everything is going. We love to see it. We love to hear it. We love to have conversations, you know? That's what this is about, is just starting a conversation. You know, you think I'd get bored about talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra after being in about like 10 different Facebook groups. But no, I'm not. I'm still here talking about it. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to be going over the lessons that we learned in Avatar: The Last Airbender Book 1, Chapters 1 and 2. Because Korra and Avatar Aang are so near and dear to my heart, I will be doing episodes by episodes of the two people. Well, Korra is also the Avatar. I just realized I didn't call the Avatar. I love these two avatars, so they're going to be talked about both, and I'm going to do it episodes by episodes, so 2 at a time, rather than doing like learn this from this characters, like a characters list, or doing it season by season like I might do with other shows on here, because like I said, I love them. Okay, without further ado, let's just go ahead and start this video. We are going to be going over the lessons, memorable moments, my comments, and final thoughts of the episodes in question. So, lesson number 1. People will really try to hold you back, even your family. That's it. That's it. But it's true. And we get to learn this in the episode from Sokka, because he starts off automatically telling Katara that she is weird and she should just be normal, and how he even goes in, like, as the episode keeps going, he's talking about weirdness turning into freakishness, and then he meets Aang, who he knows for like 5 seconds, and calls him weird just like Katara because he's a bender. And it's like which is so confusing. Okay, just a side note, but which is so confusing because it's part of your culture. Waterbending is part of your culture. How are you gonna say that it's weird or shouldn't be done, but you keep up the rest of the other parts of your culture, but just not that? Okay, that mini rant is over. And he tells them that, like, you know, like, if I had weird powers, I'd hide them. Okay, we all know that I love Sokka. Well, now you guys know that I love Sokka, so I'm not making fun of his voice. But that's what he sounded like to me. Like, why are you ostracizing and trying to put into the shadows your sister's bending? Her bending is her gift. And the thing that we take from this is that, you know, despite what the beginning of this video looked like, I am not the Avatar. I cannot bend fire, water, earth, air, or any other element. I still have a gift. We are still humans. Our gifts are our bending, and we should not be hiding them, or should be letting people ostracize us for those gifts. If you got a gift, show everybody, you know, do your thing. If you know how to sing, you better ha ha ha. If you like to dance, you better 2-step. If you like to draw, you better like paint all the murals and do all the drawings and the sketching. If you are really good at science, go ahead and get those beakers and start mixing some compounds together. You know, that's all I remember from chemistry, even though I took AP chemistry. Okay. But don't hold your gifts back. Like, don't let anybody's negativity come in and try to, like, minimize your gifts, because your gifts are your gifts, and you should be sharing them with the world. And we should learn to be like Katara, because she was basically like, okay, whatever, Sokka, and kept doing her. And we need to have a stronger belief in ourselves, so strong of a belief that no matter what negativity comes from parents, from siblings, cousins, play cousins, best friends, close friends, acquaintances, the person down the street, or even yourself, you need to have such a strong belief that none of their naysaying gets through to you or blocks you from your blessing. Okay? So don't let them hold you back. Be like Katara and waterbend that away. Just whoosh it away. The second example of this is also with Iroh. And I put it in this point because we can debate in the comments about what he really meant by this statement, but he tells Zuko,
"Yep, a man needs his rest. Prince Zuko, you need some sleep. Even if you're right, and the Avatar is alive, you won't find him. Your father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all tried and failed.
Because their honor didn't hinge on the Avatar's capture. Mine does."
Like I said, debate in the comments what it meant or what his intentions were, but your intentions do not mean diddly squat if your intentions are not received. If your intentions aren't receptive, what are you doing? Like, because, you know, Iroh could have been saying it for this reason, but at the end of the day, all Zuko heard was that he was destined to fail, and failure was not an option for him. And in this instance, we should also be like Zuko and have such a strong belief in what we're able to do in our capabilities. And this is the flip side. Believe in your gift so strongly that you keep pushing for it. And then with Zuko, believe in what you need to do so much so that nobody can stop you from what you gotta get done. And it was just, I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, Iroh might have been saying it for what he thought, but it doesn't matter because this is how Zuko took it. And the same thing, this goes for like all the, you know, maybe the parents out there listening, or, you know, confidants, or I don't know, any person out there listening should know that if your intentions are good, make sure that the person knows that they're good. Make sure that they can tell that they're good, because if they don't know that your intentions are well, are they really well? You know? I don't know, it's complicated. It's complicated, okay? But, you know, just really sit back and think about what you're saying, and also think about what you're receiving. Point is, don't let anybody hold you back. Zuko kept up his persistence, and, you know, he did anything but. Lesson number 2, stay enamored with yourself and don't stop believing. See, now this point was like interlaced between like within point 1, but I wanted to say it again for the people in the back, or if my intentions were not receptive. See what I did there? Okay. Lesson number 3, acknowledge your fears, but don't give them the leeway to control you. So again, we're learning from Sokka. Yes, he comes up a lot. I think that he has a very good character development throughout the whole entire series, and as we continue. And I'm mentioning him now because he did everything in fear, in my opinion. He didn't have fun. And even if this was fear or anger, and no, I've never been like in a country where I'm at war within my like own country, in my own setting, in my own state. So I've never had to experience that type of fear, but I still have fear in my life nonetheless. And it really has this wonderful ability to just control everything in your life. I've missed out on many experiences because of my fear, and I haven't done a lot of things because of my fear. So I would also like to bring out my little sister in this point, because she is she's, I mean, and yes, she's younger. She's like 8.
Maybe you should have
She
waterbended us out of the ice.
doesn't care what people think.
Knew I should have left
And I
you
mean,
alone.
you know, as she gets
Leave it to a
older,
girl
she
to
starts to
screw
care a
things
little
up.
bit more because that's how the world works. But she's just fearless, and she does modeling and stuff. And I think,
That was true.
like, my family says that she's like me, and I'm like, man,
Why are
I
you smiling
wish
at me
that I
like
was
that?
like her.
Oh,
Just,
I was smiling.
you know, not caring. She does the modeling, she does the acting. She's actually in Milana's video where she like sampled Gucci Mane's. You know, I'm not about to get copyrighted, so I'm not about to sing it, but I'll link it in the description below so you can go check it out. She's the little girl in the beginning, and love her, proud of her. She did it. Woohoo! Props. And she did it while being fearless, and that's just what I want to do. That's why I'm sitting here on your screen now, whether it be your TV, mobile, iPad, tablet. I don't know any other electronics. Oh, did I say laptop? Maybe. Anyway, whatever your electronic device may be, I am now on it, and I am not letting the fear of failing at this or the fear of people saying something about me stop me from doing it. So what is stopping you from doing something? What fear do you have in your life that you just need to look it in the face, say, I see you, but you ain't gonna run me. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. You gonna get out of this piece. It's over. We're done. You know what I'm saying? Like, cut ties with that fear. Do not let it cinch its way into your life and or sink it like a vampire. Don't let it do that. I kind of heard it, but don't let it do that. You don't want to look back and say, man, I could have done this if I didn't let this hold me back, or I could have. There's a lot of could haves and should haves and would haves out there. It doesn't matter because it didn't happen and you didn't do it. So why are you not doing it? That's what you need to be asking yourself. Don't let fear stop you. Like, so many other things besides just like the fear of YouTube or the fear of people talking about me and the fear of rejection. I lost out on a lot of opportunities from not applying, or I applied, but I didn't really apply myself. When I didn't, I was just like, oh, they're not gonna take me anyway. I'm just doing this for doing sake. And that's just not what you want to do. You want to do it fearlessly. It's okay to have fear, just don't let it tell you what to do. Okay? Fear doesn't run you. You make fear run. Take it how you want it, take it how you need it, but from now on, I'm gonna acknowledge my fear so I can move the hell on. Lesson number 4, stop compartmentalizing. It really can hurt you, and yes, again, it's about soccer, but it can really hurt you to compartmentalize things because humans are innately just too complex. We are literally science and art at the same time. It's mind-blowing. We're on a spectrum. We are a bunch of crossing intersections, within us. How can you try to compartmentalize that? Because then once you try to put it in this box and then this happens, you're surprised, and you're like, oh man, I gotta move it to this box. Stop compartmentalizing. There's just no one straight answer, So it might just be better to I'm trying to say something intelligent, but it's not coming to me, so I'm gonna move on. Lesson number 5, hope makes its own magic. It's actually from one of my favorite books. If you know it, put it down below in the comment section. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's from Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Leonie Taylor. I don't know how to say her name, so if I'm butchering it, sorry. But it's a really good book. I like it. It's a trilogy. It's the first one of the trilogy. But the quote that I really like, besides hope makes its own magic, is wishes are false, hope is true. Hope makes its own magic. That is a quote that's followed me. I might get it as a tattoo. I've been trying to figure out the placement for it. Anyway, let's move away from me and get back to the subject. This point is not about Sokka. Ha ha ha. This quote, hope makes its own magic, actually resonates through Katara. Despite everything that she has dealt with, she has managed to hold on to hope and fight for hope and put in the work. You know, it's kind of like, it's like manifesting. Like, she has these thoughts which create these feelings, which she puts into actions. She has the thoughts of better days are coming. She feels secured. She feels the hope, and in her actions, she fights for that hope. She does that when she tries to stop the village from banishing Aang. She does that when she is still choosing to waterbend, because maybe that might be some kind of glimmer of something happening, you know? She doesn't know exactly what's gonna happen, but she knows that there is something better. And that's just something that we need to hold on to. If you can feel anything, I suggest feeling, like, if you can visualize or, you know, create this feeling within you, it would definitely be love, gratitude, and hope. I think these three things are so powerful when you feel them and when you use them. This is me going into like manifesting for a second. When I manifest, I like to tap into these three different, these three different things. And I don't mean hope as in like, I hope one day I can do this. No, the hope is kind of intermingled with like inner strength. And that's also a quote by Iroh later on, and I'll go over the quote later on when it comes up in that episode. But it's pretty potent, like to put it in your little potion of making things better. So what are you hoping in your life? Okay, we've now moved on to memorable moments. Memorable moment for me is definitely when Katara goes to break the ice. And I'm not talking about like break the ice when she first broke the big chunk of ice to get Aang out of the little circle iceberg that he made for himself. I'm talking about when she breaks that one open. I think that that's lit, because there's Sokka, Mr. Girls always get you in trouble, and girls this and girls that, leave it to a girl. But meanwhile, she's the one being strong and fearless, and she's breaking the iceberg because she sees a person in there. And I think that's so indicative of her as a person. Like, oh no, somebody needs my help. Let me go and help them. And I think that that was just adorable. But I really love the fearlessness and the strength. Like, it was just the two in comparison. Like the fear of Sokka, even though he ends up like proving himself later on. We'll get into that in the second section. But it's just her fearlessness, her just like whack, like a whack. Oh, I'm pretty sure if she would play softball, she would have got a home run. Memorable moment number 2. We meet Appa's cute behind. I love Appa. Like, when I get a puppy, y'all better believe that it's gonna be something related to the Avatar universe. I'm not gonna tell you what the name is. You can speculate in the comments, and I'll probably be elusive in my replies, but point being, I love me some Appa. That's my baby. That's my dog. That's my dog. Ooh. Ooh. And I forgot to say that I think Appa is such a mood throughout, like, and I know I didn't even get to episode 2 yet, but I'm gonna say it now. He is such a mood between episode 1 and 2 with his grunting and like his, I can't make an Appa sound. Let me let Appa make a sound. He's so cute. It's such a mood. You want me to move? No. You want me to fly? No. I'll swim. And then like my last memorable moment of this episode is Zuko's close up whenever he like goes from the finder from the telescope, and then like he's looking, and then they make him move all the way to his good eye. Bruh, I would have loved for it to be his scar. I don't know if this is bad to think, or if this isn't like PC or nice or what, but I just love it. That's like not my favorite part about Zuko, because I love his personality, his character, but I think that's why I love the scar so much. It's like it made him into this person, like, you know what I was saying? It aided in his development. It was the catalyst. And so like when I see it, I see Zuko. When I see it, I see Zuko. But I need to stop because he is a 16-year-old in this one. So I still want Zuko and Legend of Korra to call me. Also, Iroh, I don't know if you got a wife. I'll come and be in the spirit world with you. I'll leave this body real quick and come and meet you. Just saying. If you got a phone in the spirit world, hit my digits up. We could get to know each other. My final comments of the whole, like, of the episode that doesn't have to do with like lessons is just that, like, I love the way they set it up. I love the way they do with the beginning credits. I think that they do a really good job setting us up for what's to come. We figure out like, what is the fear in this thing? Who are we dealing with? We see the characters, like our main squad or trio that we're gonna be, you know, following for a little while. And then we got the other main dude over here lurking in the corner with his uncle, who again can call me. I just feel like, you know, these lessons, this is what I see when I watch the show. I watch the show for fun and because I love it, but these are the things that I see when I'm watching the show. Like, this is what I'm getting. This is why I watch Avatar: The Last Airbender through some of my like toughest times. This is a show I come back to. And I know that's saying a lot from the beginning episode, but this is just to set the tone for the rest, and you guys could know this is why I watch this show. This is why I love it. It just teaches me things and reiterates things that I need to hear, kind of like mantras, but it's like, I love that the lessons are laced between, you know, cartoons. Come on, man. And with funny faces. Yeah. Moving on to episode number 2. Let's just jump right into it. We're gonna start with the lessons. Lesson number 1. Find your warrior paint. That was something that I just dug. Like when Sokka was putting on his warrior paint, I was like, man, what do I arm myself before I go into battle? And battle doesn't have to be like literal, like on guard battle or pew pew pew. It can literally just mean like my day, like or interview or a business meeting. I don't know. A business meeting, or a business meeting, speak it into existence, or class, or, you know, walking downtown, being a Black woman in a European country. It's just like, what am I arming myself with, you know? How am I prepared to take on these things? And I think that we should all find our warrior paint. I know for some of my friends, makeup is their warrior paint. Like, they can't tell them nothing when they got their makeup on. Like, they're just a whole brand new bussin', you know. I'm not about to get TikTok in here, but it's something to think about. Like, what are you preparing yourself with? Like, even if it's like, it doesn't have to be like a physical armor. It can be, as of lately, mine has been manifesting, or it can be prayer. It can be, you know, nourishing foods. That's my warrior paint. Like, just like your armor, like, what is in your arsenal? That's just it. What's in your arsenal that's gonna help you? Number 2, it's the classic. Things happen for a reason. whether they be good or bad. We just need to control ourselves and what is happening and just take a step back and objectively look at what has occurred. Again, whether it be good or it be bad. This can just, like, objectively looking at things can help you find the meaning in what occurred. And you know, as long as you're living, there's always a lesson to learn, a lesson to teach. See what I did there again? Hopefully. I can't hear you laughing. 3, karma is a female dog. Now this one's just like it's not even that serious, not like a serious one. It's just something that we already know. Alicia Keys sang it best when she said,
goes around, what goes up must come down.
And I put this here because I'm talking about Zuko and Sokka's little interaction where when Zuko hit Sokka in the head and he was like, pew, 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 and then it comes back and, you know, Zuko's in a position of like inferiority in the moment and Sokka's like, pew, 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 and hits him off the side of like, you know, the boat. And he goes down under. So it's just funny because like what you do to other people really has the potential to come all the way back to you, and sometimes it could be even worse than what you've done to somebody. Now that's karma. Karma's getting, you know, it's the universe. You get out what you put in, kids. Lesson number 4. Kids are more capable than we like to give them credit for. Don't underestimate a child or their capabilities. Like, they're literally seeds, and because they're seeds, they have so much potential that you shouldn't think for a doubt, or shouldn't have like any doubt that they are able to accomplish something. It just comes down, and I guess this is just how we interact with people in our lives, but the seed grows on how it's nurtured. And I mean this in the sense of not just like literal little kids. I don't just mean them, I mean also your inner younger child. That person is still in there. Like what age was I in 3rd grade? Like my 3rd grade self, or my 6th grade self, my 10th grade self, my little kid, that kid is still inside of me, and how I nurture that child is how I'm able to move now. If I'm just trying to push it to the back, I don't think that's gonna be good for my now. It's not. If I nurture it correctly, and it's in, RuPaul said it really good when he was talking about taking his, like having his little self and like giving him little self a hug and like caring for his inner child. And maybe I'll insert it somewhere below if I can find a clip, because it's a master's class that you have to pay for. It's really expensive. But it's pretty true. That kid is still inside of us, and sometimes you just need to hold it. You just need to hold them and give them love and let them know that you love them, that you care about them, and that things are on the up and up, you know? You just feed it positivity and it will continue to grow. And that's in itself how we can kind of learn from our past. It happened, things happened for reasons. I said in point 2, things happened. So by ignoring them, you actually give them the room to grow bigger and bigger. And then the next time you look at them, they're so big that it just attacks you out of nowhere. So feed your inner child, work through that past, work through the demons, and don't underestimate that little kid in here. And don't underestimate little kids, because they can really, I mean, there are kids with some businesses. There are kids, look at all these kids doing all these great things. Don't underestimate it. Don't underestimate it. Lesson number 5, one way or another, your destiny will find you. you know, the path that you take is your choice, and you make a lot of choices up to what your destiny is. And, you know, there might be like some rest stops along the way. Some can be nourishing, and some can just like strip you down. But it really just comes up to the choice that you make to just keep going and finding it. You can't, running away from it in the ending doesn't really help. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help the situation, because you're gonna end up getting there regardless. If you run away like Aang did, it still comes back to you. And in some cases, it might end up being worse than what you could have imagined. Like him running away, again, things are supposed to happen for a reason. So that's how it happened. But realize that his choice on the matter kind of escalated situations and these things from happening, you know. And at the end of the day, your destiny is yours. Nobody else can lay it out for you. No matter what destiny people try to force upon you, you know, yours, the call for it comes from within. And how you answer it is kind of like how you're determining, you know, where to go. Just remember this point and everything else that I said, if you can. Closing in on you, because running away from what you're destined for isn't for the best. No. And again, another one of the lessons: live fearlessly. Believe in yourself. Look that fear in the face and keep on pushing past it. And you have the choice in how you get to where you're going. So, yes. We've now moved on to memorable moments of chapter number 2 in Avatar: The Last Airbender, book 1. Okay, when Aang sees the fire ship going for the village, and then he like comes down the little icicle thing, and he's like, Appa, wait here, I'll be right back. And Appa looks like he said, like, I'm sorry, Appa looks like if he could talk, that he would say, as if I was about to move. Okay, bye. He just was laying down, minding his own business, and I love it. I love it. A memorable moment is, yes, it was in lessons, but Sokka putting on his warrior paint. I love it. I love seeing things like that. Like, and just also just like in traditional spaces or like traditional things that people do to prepare for war. And I mean as extreme as like the Haka dance. I love it. Or, you know, softball players putting on like the little black paint thingy and smearing it, so that way you know that they mean business. I'm sitting here acting like I didn't used to do that, but it's, you know, like just how people get ready. It's just, I loved it, and I loved watching Sokka do it. It was just like, you know that something's really about to go ahead, like something's about to happen, someone's gonna ham, I don't know what's gonna do, but hey, it was good. And that leads into the next memorable moment. I'm trying to be like Sokka. Like, this is where I said that I was gonna give him props, because when being fearless really mattered, he stepped up to the plate. Like, he did not move a centimeter when that ship was coming, even though he made a scared sound and we visibly saw him be scared. He did not move from that ledge, and he didn't move until the ship essentially made him move, because it broke the ice and this caused it to turn into snow, and he moved down. And he did not move. And then he knew that there were a bunch of people on this ship, but he was the only person that was the man that could protect the whole entire village, so he kept going. And that has to come down to like his responsibility. But I just thought that was so, it was just powerful. I really liked that part. Oh, Sorry, I looked down to my notes because I wanted to see what I said about that part, and I forgot that I had him do the whole like that he was just looking at the ship like, "Hey, how are you?" I love making fun of Jeffree Star. Okay, another memorable moment, Aang writing down on that penguin, and then when he's done, that penguin looked like, beep. If I could throw these hands, I would throw them at you. Like, that's what he looked like, but his arms are so little. Like, how is he gonna hit them? But that was just funny to me because I would have been like, wow, that's what it looked like. Like, he was like, wow, and then kept it moving. Another memorable moment, Aang keeping like a smile on his face until the boat doors like essentially closed and they couldn't see him anymore. Even though he could see them, they couldn't see him. And then his smile turned into like worry. That part gives me chills because it's like he knows that, I don't think he knows that he's not coming back, but it's just like, it's something that might be true. And it's also like all of the things that he ran away from for being the Avatar came and hit him like a brick wall in less than 48 hours. So that just seemed like it was a lot to process. Maybe less than 72 hours, but it was just like he ran away all this time and he was cool, you know, his iceberg chilling, and then it just all happened so fast and at once. And my favorite moment in this episode, besides Sokka's warrior paint, is Aang like breaking himself free, and then right before he's about to like go to freedom, he's like like tra-la-la-la-la, I'm free, like I'm free, beep. I'm not about to curse on here. I'm not about to get demonetized if it ever happens. So it's like he was just running and he was like, I'm free, B words. And it was just so hilarious. And then like, I was like, you know what? I'm happy. He was just singing freedom. And then all of a sudden Zuko comes out of nowhere and he's like, all I see is captivity and banishment. You better come over here. And he jumps. This thing is so hilarious. I just love the face, the little details that they make in this show, man. And I said that those two are my other favorite moments, but no, sorry. I forgot about the third favorite moment when Iroh and Zuko do the fireball at him. And he goes and he like hits it. His little face that he makes, I'm not about to make it and make my face all crinkly. It already does that by itself, but I can't make it. But it's funny as hell looking at that face, and then it's like, it gets me every time. And then they're laughing because it's funny in the ending, but it's also funny because I'm laughing with them. It's like one of my favorite moments. Sorry, but I'm stalling. It's like one of my favorite moments because like, I'm laughing and then they start laughing, so it's like we're essentially laughing together. And I'm just like, in my head I'm like, guys, Sokka, Katara, hey, we're friends. Okay, let's move on to like my final comments on everything, like on the show and whatnot. It bothers me that Sokka is like dealing with all these responsibilities, which, you know, is a lot to deal with being the only man. It bothers me that all the men left to go on to like, you know, help the tribe and do whatever they were doing, like to go off to the war. It bothers me that they all left and didn't leave at least one other guy in the tribe in case somebody else came. Like, that blew my mind and that bothered me a little bit. But it bothered me even more so because they weren't there to teach the women to become warriors instead of just them doing chores all the time in case something happened. Because it really was just Sokka, and there were a bunch of little kid boys that weren't gonna be in there but throw him with things like tag teaming through weaponry. And all these women are just twiddling their thumbs. Even Waterbend and Katara can't really help him like that. it's just like none of these women knew how to fight, and that's just like, it bothered me because girls can be warriors too. And it irked me. I know why they did it as writers. I'm not mad at them for doing it in the writing. I'm saying like if this was like real life, like that just blows. I need me a person as trustworthy as Boomerang to know that if I let them go, they'll come right on back. The way that Sokka threw that boomerang and no one didn't hit Zuko when he went there, but it sure as heck did hit him when he came back. That's what I need in my life. Oh, so how happy Sokka was when Appa took off flying. I probably should have put that in the memorable moments, really more so than the comments. But I love that part of Sokka. Like, I loved that because, yeah, it was funny. It made me laugh. It makes me laugh. Excuse me. I still laugh to this day. But it's just so cute. He finally, like, just seeing him finally let go and, like, have some kind of expression other than, like, you know? This is what I took away from these episodes, what I was feeling, what I was thinking. And honestly, if I watch them again, I'll probably feel or see other different things. Every time I watch the show, like, I see something else. But watching it while critically trying to take notes can kind of get in the way of me seeing other things or viewing it from another way. So that being said, please make sure to comment below what you learned through these episodes, how you were feeling, what's your memorable moments, any comments you have about these episodes. And, you know, like I said, let's have a conversation. Make sure that you hit that like button. If you dislike the video, you can hit the dislike button too. Just make sure that you're putting critical comments down so that way I know what I need to improve, how to be better, so that way it could be a better experience for everyone. And is there something else I'm forgetting? Oh yeah, subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Make sure that you click the all button because otherwise it'll do it too. YouTube will like choose what you get to be notified about, and you're not gonna want to miss a darned thing of this channel in this corner. I just like talking to you guys. I'm sorry, y'all cool. Yeah, but anyway, my bad. Y'all have a lovely day, a lovely time, a lovely life, and I'll see you on the flippity flip. Bye.